What's good, sports fans? Are you ready to elevate your live entertainment experience? Well, let me introduce you to SeatGeek, an amazing platform that connects you to your favorite events while saving you money. With SeatGeek, you can easily find tickets for sports games, concerts, and so much more, all in one place. The interface is user-friendly, making it simple to browse and compare prices. And one of the best features is the interactive seating chart. You can see exactly where you'll be sitting and how much you'll be spending, ensuring you get the best value for your money. But here's the best part. Check this out. By using my promo code, ChalkItUpSports, you can enjoy a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. That's right, $20 off your first SeatGeek order. Imagine catching that thrilling game or concert without breaking the bank. It's a win-win situation. Plus, you'll be a part of a community of fans who eat, sleep, and breathe live events just as much as you do. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description to download the SeatGeek app today. And don't forget to use my promo code ChalkItUpSports for a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. Get excited. Now let's get back to the show. Welcome back to another edition of Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. I am your humble host, Tone DeShields II, the one and only. I appreciate you guys for locking in on the content. It means a lot to me, goes a long way. Make sure you guys smash that like button. You know what your job is. You know what you got to do. I always say it every single time. Every time we connect, I'm like Voltron, I always tell you what your job is. Smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, especially if you are new. If this is your first time listening, I appreciate you. I'm grateful. I know you got other options, and you still chose to kick it with me. You took a shot on a kid. So I want to make sure I don't waste that opportunity. So again, make sure you guys smash that like button. And if you like what you hear, like what you see, if you like the vibes, if you like the energy, make sure you guys subscribe to the show. On top of that, make sure you guys are engaged in that live chat, right? I need to see more of y'all, right? I'm always seeing the same names, and I'm grateful for them, by the way. I love guys like Trenton Wright, Aunt Boogie, my mom, Kellen Palmer. Aunt Boogie's my little brother, by the way. I was just on the phone with him. Brian Grant, Viney Outside, KGK. The list goes on and on. I love seeing my OGs in the live chat, but I want to see some new names, some new personalities, right? That's the fun part about this live stream stuff. A lot of you guys get to let your personality show through your comments, and I appreciate that. It means a lot to me. You guys already know the show is available on more than one platform. The show is available on not only YouTube, but the show is available on Spotify. It's available on Apple Podcasts. Now, we only do live streams on YouTube. Apple Podcasts and Spotify, they don't have live capabilities, if I'm not mistaken. But YouTube, we're live. And then when the show ends, within the hour, we upload those episodes onto Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So make sure you guys go check it out. You guys have been showing a lot of love, man. The numbers have been going up on on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I appreciate y'all. So it goes a long way with me. You guys already know the Chalk It Up Sports merch is out there. It's in full effect. Make sure you guys go check it out. It comes in multiple different colorways. You guys can click the links in the description. The merchandise is available on the YouTube, on my YouTube channel, any and everywhere. You can see it at the bottom of the live stream. It's some pieces there for you to see some samples. But regardless, make sure you get to the website. You'll be able to purchase yourself some Apex Predator Jalen Hurts oversized tees or sweatshirts or hoodies, whatever suits you. It comes in multiple colorways: black, army green, forest green, gray, tan. I try to make sure I cover all the bases. And I know it's fall. I know wintertime is coming. And I want to make sure I give you all those earthy tones. That's my vibe. So make sure you guys go lock in on that. Now that we've gotten through the pleasantries, we've gotten through some of the housekeeping, let's get to some of the topics at hand, right? This week, the Philadelphia Eagles have the New York Giants. Yes, the Eagles' first rivalry game of the season. I believe the New York Giants have already played 2 rivalry games, 2 divisional games. They played the Commanders, who they've lost to, and they've played the Dallas Cowboys, who they've lost to. Almost beat the Cowboys too, but they lost. And now we have our opportunity. We have our crack at them. And this is going to be a fascinating game because the New York Giants have been playing teams tough as of late. If you look at their schedule, they've been in a lot of those games. You feel me? And they just can't close the game. I mean, they're limited offensively, of course. Their defense has really come along. The Giants have a top 10 defense. They lead the league in sacks, which is crazy to think about. But regardless, man, that offense, that Giants offense is where they're weak at. And we're going to talk more about that. We're going to get into some injury updates as of late. We're going to talk about the Saquon Barkley revenge game. We're going to get into the defense because that's where I really want to spend most of my time talking about, because that defense really gave me some signs of encouragement going into this week. But the thing is, or the question is, can they build off of it? That's the question, right? We've seen good games, bad games, decent games, terrible game, solid game. We've gotten various different products from your Philadelphia Eagles on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. We've gotten a different product every single week when it comes to your Philadelphia Eagles. That's just a fact. But we're hoping that coming out of the bye weekend, they beat the Browns. We're hoping that they can begin to stack those days. We've seen progress with Jalen Hurts in terms of protecting the football, right? He needed that game to go that way against the Browns. He needed that game. He needed to get through that game unscathed. And then the defense, of course, I mean, they came out of the game with 5 sacks. They were flying around the field. Man, shout out to Cooper DeJean. Shout out to Quinyon Mitchell. Shout out to the whole D-line, all those boys, man, Zach Bond. You know, all those guys played well. CJ, GJ, Reed Blankenship. You guys know what it is, the OG BG. You feel me? So they're coming off of a game that gives some sprinkles of encouragement, that gives you some things that you want to hang your hat on. But the question is, should I hang my hat on that hook? I don't know. It doesn't seem secure. I don't trust the people in the building. What if I put my hat down and somebody steals it? I don't know if I can hang my hat on them just yet, but they have given us some things to be encouraged about. We've talked about this pass rush being non-existent. We've talked about that. We've talked about the pass rush being inconsistent. We've looked at guys like Nolan Smith, Josh Sweat, Bryce Huff. We looked at Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. We looked at all those guys, man, all of them. And we're saying, and I don't want to leave anybody out, but again, we've looked at all those guys and we've said, you are not living up to expectation. You are not living up to the status, right? We looked at Bryce Huff and we immediately said, yo, this dude is stealing money. We said that. And Bryce Huff had his best game by far against the Browns. Now, the clear difference is that Bryce Huff was able to rush the passer the way he's accustomed to rushing the passer. I don't know if you guys have paid attention, but I'll fill you in. Those first 4 games, Bryce Huff, and I didn't even intend on starting with Bryce Huff, but we're here. Bryce Huff, he's used to rushing out of a 4-point stance. If you don't know what a 4-point stance is, that's essentially when both hands are in the dirt. Both hands are in the dirt. You're down. Head is down. Almost like a track star. The Eagles in those first 4 games have been using him in a 2-point stance. Basically, no hands in the dirt, just standing upright and rushing the passer when they need you to rush the passer and maybe drop back if they need you to drop back. But it didn't work for Bryce Huff. Bryce Huff is not that kind of pass rusher. He earned the contract. He put up 10 sacks last season because he was in a 4-point stance. That's how he's comfortable getting off the line. That's how he's able to generate enough torque, enough get off. You feel what I'm saying? And we saw the best version of Bryce Huff, or we've seen an improved version. I mean, let's say the best version, because I believe he still has a lot more to give us. We've seen an improved version of Bryce Huff in week 6 compared to week 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right? Week 1, okay, whatever. First week, we give you a pass. But week 2, week 3, and week 4, we were like, nah, something's off here. This dude is not a factor. No tackles, no anything. But he can't. But he had a good game. He had a solid game against the Browns, and that's something to be encouraged about, right? We're seeing Vic Fangio notice the weaknesses in the defense, and he's doing what he needs to do to remedy that. He's doing the best he can to put guys in the best position to succeed. We're not used to having DCs in the building who make corrections. let's just be honest. We're not used to having a guy in the building for a while. Actually, Sean Desai didn't make adjustments. Matt Patricia, Jonathan Gannon barely made adjustments. You feel what I'm saying? So having Vic Fangio in the building, seeing him do what he did, I felt that was encouraging, man. It's encouraging for the DC. It's encouraging for the whole team. He's mixing and matching, even benching Avonte Maddox and putting in Cooper DeJean, right? That's the move you make. Putting trust in rookies. We haven't had a DC or coaches really who put enough trust in young guys. And Vic Fangio has put a lot of trust in his young guys, his rookies, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, right? Jalen Hunting starting to get more snaps little by little. Moro Ojomo, a younger player, getting more snaps. He's making an impact. So you got to give credit where credit is due to Vic Fangio for making the necessary adjustments. It's up to the players to execute, right? I know we get on Vic Fangio about having guys play off the line of scrimmage, right? Not enough aggression. Man, the Eagles defense was more aggressive against the Browns than they've been against any other team. And I think that's encouraging. Coming out of the bye week, you saw the biggest jump from the defense compared to the offense, in my opinion. I was more impressed with the defense in that Browns game than I was the offense. Of course, you know, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, they're going to do what they do. Jalen Hurts had a very clean game. I appreciated his performance. Wasn't MVP level, wasn't superstar level, but that's the kind of performance that can get you out of a hole. That's the kind of performance that you can stack on top of each other and say, you know what? I'm starting. The game is starting to. I'm starting to feel my way around the game a little bit better now. You know, earlier on in the season, it kind of seemed like Jalen Hurts is pressing a little bit. Now it kind of seems like he's just having fun more. He's smiling. He's kind of just taking it in his stride, rolling with it, protecting the football. That's what you need. You need Jalen Hurts loose. You don't need him tight. Nick Sirianni, same thing. So back to the defense. The Eagles defense has a huge opportunity to stack 2 solid performances back-to-back weeks for the first time this season. They haven't had back-to-back good performances in a long time. That's the truth. We've gotten an inconsistent defensive product all season. Last year, they were just flat out terrible. But the fact that you're able to see good performances from this team, even though they are struggling to string them together, the fact that you're able to see promise, the fact that you're able to see, oh, that was a good performance there. Okay, I see the improvement from this player from week 2 to week 6, right? We're seeing this defense give us little olive branches to kind of have faith in them a little bit. They're making adjustments. They're trying to figure it out. I respect that. Have they been inconsistent? Yes. But I appreciate the mixing and matching, the trying stuff, trusting your young guys, benching this guy, putting this guy in. And you know what? I'm taking snaps away from you, and I'm going to give him more snaps because, you know, clearly you can't handle X amount of snaps. I appreciate that. I'm grateful for that. The last thing we need is a DC who's going to keep ramming his head against the same wall, expecting a different result. That's called insanity. So, again, the Eagles' defense has a huge opportunity to stack 2 solid performances in back-to-back weeks for the first time this season. Now, granted, this 4-game stretch, Browns, Giants, Bengals, Jaguars, it's not, or it shouldn't be, or doesn't qualify as being a killer stretch by any means necessary. It's not a killer stretch at all. Every one of these games are winnable. As a matter of fact, you should be able to dominate these games. But I think right now, at least for me, I'm looking for the Philadelphia Eagles to play clean football, to be more consistent than what they were. And I think the domination is going to come naturally. Just focus on the little things. Don't try to win the game in one throw. Don't try to come back or win the game in one play. Stack the reps, stack the games. Things will start to string together. The next thing you know, you're going to have an amazing product. But we got to take this thing week by week, especially with this defense. And then the offense, we're going to get into that later on. But Browns last week, Giants this week. The Browns offense, here's the thing about them. They've been inept. They were inept on Sunday, and they've been inept all season, especially under Deshaun Watson. Right? But then you get to the Giants. Their offense has been, quite frankly, inept as well. They've been limited. They don't have that many weapons. They've been depending on Malik Neighbors to be their offense. Right? Malik Neighbors leads that team in every damn stat category. So even with the addition of Malik Neighbors, the Giants offense has struggled to score as well. And Daniel Jones has a propensity to turn the ball over. So that's opportunity, in my opinion. You know where the ball is going. You've played this quarterback many, many times. He can get flustered. He can get rattled. He can get touched. As a matter of fact, the Giants are going to be without their star left tackle, Andrew Thomas. He's out for the season. He had to get surgery, I believe, on his foot. And that's and that's terrible. That's a huge gut punch for the New York Giants. And on top of that, just to get a quick injury update, Kayvon Thibodeau, he's on IR with a wrist injury. So their offensive line is compromised and their defensive line is compromised. Now on that defensive line, Dexter Lawrence and Brian Burns, they got to lead the charge. Ojulari, they got to lead the charge. But Brian Burns and Dexter Lawrence, those are the two guys you're trying to game plan for, right? Eagles side of things, Darius Slade, his knee, day-to-day. Jordan Mailata, the hamstring. Mailata may be out. They haven't given us a timetable for that, but we may get an update today. Typically, we get an injury report on Wednesdays. But Mailata, he may be out 4 to 6 weeks, man. That dude was walking on crutches after that game. That thing was scary. It was scary seeing Jordan Mailata walk off the field like that. He was carted off. So who knows when Mailata will come back? And it's a hamstring. If we was missing A.J. Brown with a hamstring for 3 games, and he didn't get carted off, so we know to the best of our knowledge, he didn't get carted off. And then Dallas Goedert, he's dealing with a hamstring as well. He didn't get carted off, but again, the barometer is A.J. Brown, or the precedent is A.J. Brown. If A.J. Brown missed 3 weeks with that hamstring, what do you think Jordan Mailata is going to miss with the hamstring? What do you think Dallas Goedert may miss? Dallas Goedert can miss 2 to 3 weeks. If that's the case, Mailata can miss 4 to 6 weeks with that hamstring. And Mailata was on a tear this season. He was one of the best. He was one of the highest graded pass blockers and run blockers in the league. It's unfortunate that you're going to be without Jordan Mailata and Dallas Goedert just going forward. The Eagles have been battling injuries, unfortunately, throughout the first part of the season to key guys too. And most of the injuries have been on the offensive side of the ball. It's unfortunate, but they're talented. They're deep on that side. They got to do the best they can to make it happen. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts. You got to make it happen. It's just that simple. And it is encouraging to see Grant Calcaterra do his thing. But again, I digress. The Giants are going to be without Andrew Thomas, their left tackle. So I'm looking for Josh Sweat to make a big impact in this game. And I'm going to get to your comments, by the way. I'm going to get to your super chats. I'm going to get to all your comments, you guys. Don't you guys worry. Make sure you guys show love. So, yeah, Andrew Thomas is their best offensive lineman by far. And they did sign John Rain in the offseason. I think he's a guard. But Andrew Thomas is by far their best offensive lineman. And without him, Daniel Jones is compromised. So the question is, how will the Giants pivot? We'll find out as we get closer to the game. But Josh Sweat, this is a grand opportunity for him. Josh Sweat has struggled to begin the season, but over these past couple of games, Josh Sweat has begun to settle in. Obviously, the Buccaneers game was not the game we wanted. But over the past 2 weeks, Josh Sweat has put up 2 sacks. It's encouraging, trending in the right direction. I appreciate that, right? I'm grateful for Josh Sweat stringing together some okay performances or some sacks, essentially affecting the game, right? So he has an opportunity in front of him. Whoever they put in front of Josh Sweat, whoever's going to fill in for Andrew Thomas at left tackle, Josh Sweat has to bully them. He has to take them to the woodshed. It's just that simple for me. So yeah, the Eagles D-line, they're coming off of their strongest pass rush performance. Let's say that. They're coming off of their best performance in terms of the pass rush. They did give up 100 rush yards to the Browns on average 4 yards a carry on 25 attempts. You know, that's a decent run. That's a decent outing for your running back room. If you're the Browns, that's an okay outing. But it wasn't enough. It didn't affect the game enough. They were without Jerome. Is it Jerome Ford? That running back? Is it Jerome Ford? And they were without Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is likely going to debut this week against the Bengals at home. So they were down their top 2 running backs, and you know, the Eagles D-line, they're coming off of their strongest pass rush performance. They put up 5 sacks through 3 quarters. Now, I don't know what happened in the fourth, but through the first 3 quarters, I believe, they put up 5 sacks on the Browns. So the question becomes, can they string together another performance like this? Can they continue to affect the game the way they have in 2 of their 5 games? You see, we've gotten only 2 strong games from this defensive line over the course of 6 weeks, right? We're hoping we can get 3 strong games over the course of 7 weeks. That's the goal, to take advantage of the missing Andrew Thomas offensive line, the Giants offensive line. That's the goal, to take advantage. And it's not like that entire offensive line is good. I mean, amazing. Like, they've played better than they have in the past, but that floor is so low. And it's not like they've cracked the ceiling. I'll put it to you this way. If the Giants offensive line has been in the basement, they finally made it to the living room. But no way are they on the second floor or the third floor. They're nowhere near the roof or the ceiling. They can't see the sky yet. But they made their way up. They made their way up the basement steps. They came out of the darkness, and they're okay. But then you lose Andrew Thomas. That puts you back in the basement, if you ask me. And with Vic Fangio coming off of a game where he made maybe some of his most adjustments, I mean, you could probably compare the Saints game, but Fangio came out in that Browns game really aggressive. Hey, listen to these numbers, y'all. Let me get your perspective on this. Make sure you guys lock in. Smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, especially if you're new. I appreciate my OG subscribers as well. If you're watching this after the fact, if you're not watching this live, if you're watching this on Spotify or listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys as well. Let's keep it going. Fangio came out really aggressive against the Browns. Listen to this, you guys. And again, I want your perspective. I want your opinion. Prior to week 6, the Eagles usually blitzed 26.3% of the time. 26.3% of the time, the Eagles usually blitz prior to week 6. Now we get to week 6. The Eagles blitzed 36.7% of the time. Now, Fangio, he doesn't want to blitz. That's not really something he wants to do. He doesn't want to sacrifice guys in coverage to get to the quarterback. His dream is to get to the quarterback with 4 men. That's his goal. I want to get to the quarterback with a 4-man rush at all times. I want to wreak havoc with a 4-man rush. And trust me, we all want that. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get to the quarterback to kind of generate that motor for everybody else. Nobody's saying you got to blitz all the time, but blitz, throw some wrinkles in there, be aggressive, let the quarterback and the offensive line know y'all going to work today. And also let your defensive line know we're going to do whatever it takes to get you guys home. So I'll run that back. Prior to week 6, the Eagles usually blitz 26.3% of the time. But against the Browns, the Eagles blitzed 36.7% of the time. That's a 10% increase. It's not a drastic jump or increase. It's not the biggest increase in blitzing, but it's an uptick. And it shows that Vic Fangio is truly trying to do whatever it takes to be effective on defense. Do whatever it takes to create havoc and chaos for the opposing offense. I appreciate adjustments. I really, really do. On top of that, another number for you guys. The Eagles were able to generate a 40% pressure rate against the Browns. A 40% pressure rate they were able to generate against the Browns compared to their usual 30.5% pressure rate prior to week 6. So again, another 10% increase. Your blitz rate increased about 10%, and then in turn, your pressure rate increased by 10%, which means that the adjustment he made had an effect. Now, if that's what it takes to keep your blitzing in that 35 to 40 percentile range, if that's what it takes to get to the quarterback, you do what you got to do. And you get creative, and you trust your DBs to do their job. You trust your DBs to hold up. Because that defensive line is so talented. Jalen Carter, Josh Sweat, you got some other guys on there. Like, if you can just send an extra guy until Bryce Huff settles in, until we start getting more from Josh Sweat and Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith had a good game too. BG, like, you got guys, you got bodies that can do it. But again, 10% increase in your blitzing led to a 10% increase in your pressure rate. I'll take that for now. I'll live with that for now. If that's what it takes, that's what it takes. In addition, you saw, and again, I'm going to get to your comments, y'all. I appreciate the love and the support. In addition, you saw the corners playing much closer to the line of scrimmage. And Fangio got really, really creative with Cooper DeJean in the pass rush. I think Cooper DeJean was sent in the pass rush. I think Cooper DeJean blitzed 4 times, and he was able to generate 2 pressures, got a half a sack. There was a few of those sacks where Cooper DeJean was responsible for it occurring. Now, maybe he didn't get the sack, but there was a few sacks that happened because Cooper DeJean was able to come off the edge and force Deshaun Watson to take his head, put his head down and not look downfield. Got to give credit where credit is due to Cooper DeJean for coming in as the rookie. Now, granted, we all know Deshaun Watson has not been playing well. And we know Daniel Jones of the Giants has not been playing that well. But at the end of the day, you play who you play. Whoever's on the docket, you do what you got to do to take them out. It's just that simple. And the Eagles have another opportunity to stack together another solid game on defense against the Giants. And even more so because the offensive line is compromised. Now, the Eagles' offensive line is compromised too. Don't get it twisted. We're going to talk about that later on. But the impact that Cooper DeJean made in Fangio's defense it jumped off the page. Flying sideline to sideline. How instinctive he is. He tackles well. He can cover. I told you guys, Cooper DeJean is a Swiss Army knife. I feel like he's a safety. You need to use him similarly to how you used Dawkins and how you used Malcolm Jenkins, right? A guy that's just floating. Matchup specific. Whoever you play, okay, we need you here, we need you there. But I think he's a hybrid. He could play safety, he could play slot. I want him floating. I want Cooper DeJean all over the football field. Straight like that. But the Giants are going to make it easy. Again, I've been looking at their schedule. They've been fighting. They're not going to go down without a fight. Even if they got to spam Malik Neighbors. If he got to end the game with 15 targets, they're going to do that. They're going to fight. And their defense is good. So we got a bout in front of us. But I'm fascinated to watch this game. I really, really am. I mentioned Bryce Huff earlier. Again, significant improvement in his performance. We'll see if he can string it together. But getting him back in that 4-point stance was really, really vital. Really, really vital to his overall success. And, the tackling still has to improve. Let's not get it twisted now. This defense is far from perfect. This defense is far from perfect. In 4 of their 5 games to start the season, they've allowed over 100 yards after the catch in 4 of their 5 games. That's not good. It's not good at all. That means you guys aren't tackling well. You're not flying to the receiver or the ball carrier quick enough. You're allowing them to break off explosive plays. The Eagles have to do a better job in limiting the yards after the catch. 4 out of the 5 games, they've given up over 100 yards after the catch. I wouldn't be surprised if they lead the league in yards after the catch given up. I don't know that for a fact. I would have to look it up right now, but I don't really feel like it. But 4 out of the 5 games giving up over 100 yards after the catch, not good. But again, you string it together, you stack the days, you do what you can, and you try to plug as many holes as you can. You work on things. And I think things will begin to take shape. I think this defense is approaching the territory of cracking the code. I think they figured out that, yes, Quinyon Mitchell, he belongs on the outside. We're not moving him. I think they figured out that Cooper DeJean, he belongs in the football field. I think they figured out Bryce Huff, fuck a 2-point stance. We got to put him in a 4-point stance, right? They figured out, okay, we need to generate more of a pass rush. All right, let's blitz a little bit more. Let's get a 10% increase. Oh, you know what? A 10% increase in not only the blitz, but a 10% increase in your pressure rate. So we've seen adjustments being made. We've seen that. Right? Okay, Jordan Davis, you know what? Let's bring his snaps down. Let's bring Moro Ojomo snaps up a little bit. And Milton Williams, all right. Guys are fresher. We're seeing this. Okay, Darius Slay goes down. Kelly Ringo, go do your thing. We're seeing the adjustments being made. We're seeing guys step up. Okay? So we knew this defense was going to be a work in progress. We knew that from the beginning of the season. We knew that they were going to go through their growing pains. We knew that. And I made a bold prediction over the course of the offseason. I said that this defense will likely figure it out. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, please correct me if I'm off here. My memory is a little bad right now. I think I said during the offseason, I expect this defense to be exactly where they should be by week 9, week 10. I think I said that. Right now, we're in week 7. So I still have time for that prediction to hold true, but they got to stack these days. That's what it's going to come down to, stacking these days. And like I said, the DBs, they played closer to the line of scrimmage, and it was just an overall better performance by the defense, especially coming off of that terrible game against the Buccaneers. They needed this game, right? In this 4-game stretch, they need this 4-game stretch. Just the kind of 4-game stretch that helps you build confidence, right? These are confidence-building games because every one of these matchups are beatable. Every one. You just got to go in and do your job. Can you give me 2 dominant wins out of the 4? Can you give me something to say, you know what? Okay, this team can put up points. You feel me? The Philadelphia Eagles haven't put up 30-plus points since week 1. That's a problem for me. When you got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, Dallas Gardner, that offensive line. Now, granted, the offense has dealt with their fair share of injuries. You were missing A.J. Brown for 3 weeks. Devontae Smith missed the Buccaneers game with an injury, with a concussion. You were missing Lane Johnson for the Buccaneers game as well. You're going to be missing Dallas Goedert and Jordan Mailata for extended time for the time being. So, again, this offense has been dealing with injuries. Whoever gets healthy, someone else gets hurt. That's been the issue for the offense. But A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, that should be enough for you to put points on the board, 30-plus points at that, right? Jordan Mailata is a big loss, but I think the Philadelphia Eagles, what their plan is, they're going to move Mekhi Becton to left tackle, and then they're going to put Tyler Steen at right guard. I think that's the logical move, in my opinion. That's how you, in my opinion, that's how you put the best talent on the football field. That's just my opinion. I don't want Fred Johnson going up against Brian Burns. And we're going to talk about that later on, y'all. We're going to talk about that later on. Anyway, let me get to some of your comments, though. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. All of you guys listening on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, I appreciate you guys, too. All right, let's get to some of these comments here. My man Joey Shakes in the building. How you feeling, family? Hope all is well with you and the peoples. He says no Kayvon Thibodeau this week either. So, yeah, man, Kayvon Thibodeau is on IR with a wrist injury. So, that's going to be really interesting to see. Kayvon Thibodeau typically plays over the left tackle. And Brian Burns typically plays over the right tackle for the Giants. But with no Kayvon Thibodeau, they moved Brian Burns to play over the left tackle because typically your left tackle is the best blocker on the team, and you want to probably put your best guy on him. Nonetheless, though, Kayvon Thibodeau is going to be out for however long. Not really my concern, but he's not playing on Sunday. It's really going to be the Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence show. And not having Jordan Mailata is going to be really, really, really nerve-wracking against Brian Burns. He's a really good player. And I'm curious to know what Mekhi Becton will do against Brian Burns. Because, again, I believe Mekhi Becton is going to start at left tackle and Tyler Steen will come in at right guard. I think that's what they're going to do. That's your most trustworthy combination, if you ask me. All right. Let me get to another comment here. So Dope King. He says, Tone, I know everyone is blaming the coaching, but maybe it's the quarterback. There's been talks and highlights about how the offense is relatively the same concepts, and that might have to do with the quarterback. Your perspective is not unreasonable at all. Your perspective is plausible. I will definitely say that. And I won't lie and act like I haven't had those same thoughts myself at times. But I still believe Jalen Hurts is capable of running a complex offense. I still believe that. I'm not ready to jump ship on Jalen Hurts quite yet. And I'm not saying that's what you're doing. But Nick Sirianni does have to answer for the fact that he has been incapable of providing answers to his quarterback or for his quarterback. That's the detriment of Nick Sirianni. And again, I'm not here to bash Nick Sirianni today. I've done a lot of that over the course of this season thus far. Over the course of the past few weeks, I've done a lot of Nick Sirianni bashing. I've been kicking his back in. And many of you guys have been doing it as well. And rightfully so. He's been making boneheaded decisions. But right now, my mindset is not really about Nick Sirianni right now. That's not where I'm at. Thank you, So Dope King, by the way. I appreciate you. Rufus Wallace says Keely Ringo was making dudes see stars. Yeah, that was crazy, man. He was hitting out there. He was hitting. A lot of people want to get rid of Slay because they want Keely Ringo out there because they know he's gonna be physical, and not only the passing game but the run game too. Jay Graves, welcome to the show, man. He says DeJean should show up in a Jason Sehorn jersey. That's funny, man. Yo, listen, DeJean, I'm telling you, I feel like he can be our what's the safety for the Vikings, the white ball. Is it Harrison something or something Harrison? I forget his name. Keep the main thing. He says Giants will definitely fight hard, and they beat us last time we played them, so we got to destroy them. Else they're going to be making it, or else it's going to be a trap game. Yeah, and it's a road game too. You're going to their stadium. So it's going to be a tough matchup, in my opinion. I think it's going to be a very physical game. I feel like whoever wins in the trenches wins this game. Whoever dominates the trenches will win this game. That's my humble opinion. Rufus Wallace says 40 likes, over 60 people. Help your boy out. Yeah, y'all, come on, smash that like button, man. We got over 60 people in here. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the show. I appreciate it. All right, let's see. Anthony Chops Crowback. He says, I think we scored 10 in the first quarter this week. Offense is going to take off after this W. I hope so, man. Anthony, I hope so, bro, because we haven't scored a touchdown in the first quarter all season. I don't think we've generated any points in the first quarter all season. And that's a problem because in the first quarter, those are typically the scripted plays. Those are typically the plays you practice religiously. And when your offense can't execute the plays you practice, the plays you're scripting, that's a problem with coaching, if you ask me. That's a problem with the man upstairs. That's a problem with leadership. You feel what I'm saying? That means the quarterback and the coach clearly is on the same page, or the quarterback, whatever it may be. But regardless, I hope they score 10 points in the first quarter. I feel like if they get up on the Giants early, it's game over. I firmly believe that the Giants aren't deep enough. They're not talented enough on offense to come back from being down 17-0, if you ask me, or even 21-0. They're not good enough to come back from that. Their defense is good enough to keep them in a game, though. That's what we got to look out for. Their defense, the Giants' defense, is good enough to keep them in games. So I'll put it to you this way. If that Giants defense is playing in a way where the Eagles only have 17 points going into the fourth quarter, the Giants are in that game. The Giants are in that game. You don't want them to build confidence. But I feel you, Anthony. We need to come out fast in this game. This is a game where you want to come out swinging. You don't want to BS. Joshua Mullins, he says, Tone, what if this is the blowout game for the Eagles? Man, I hope so. Because we got blown out last week. Or week 4, rather. Excuse me. We got blown out in week 4. We need to put the pause on somebody else. You feel what I'm saying? We need to put the league on notice that we're back. We got to do that. These next 4 games, again, they're not world-beating opponents, but you need to take advantage of the food that's on your plate. You feel what I'm saying? You can't leave any stone unturned. You gotta put hands and feet on these next 3 opponents. You beat the Browns. We expected more points, but you beat them still. And you played a clean game, Jalen Hurts, and the defense played a solid game. I'll take it because of the clean game that was played, because of the efficiency, right? I'll take it. But I'm sorry. I need you to put 30 on the Giants. I need you to put 30 on the Jags. If you can find a way to put 30 on the Bengals, I'll take that too. You feel what I'm saying? Rufus Wallace says, Coop's a breath of fresh air. Yo, Cooper DeJean is a breath of fresh air, man. Just seeing how he played. I've rewatched that game like 4 times. 4 times. And I'm just looking, and I've looked at the film. I'm looking at how he's just moving, how he's just diagnosing what's in front of him. He knows where to be. He knows how to get there. He knows how to maneuver in traffic. How many times have we seen Avonte Maddox get taken advantage of in motion because he can't get through traffic? Because he's not physical enough. Because his instincts aren't sharp enough. He doesn't know how to get skinny. So you're right, Rufus. Cooper DeJean was definitely a breath of fresh air. Definitely a breath of fresh air. My man Joey Shake, 72, he says, the Giants are going down swinging. They catch you off guard. Good night, Eagles. The Giants are not the Browns. I agree. I think both offenses are mediocre, if not less than that. But the defense of the Giants is for real. That's a fact. They're ranked, they're top 10. They lead the league in sacks. Don't get caught lacking because they will force a strip sack. Don't get caught see, this is the kind of game where you don't want any turnovers because you can have one turnover and the Giants beat you by 3. You don't want to give them any more possessions than they have. So, Joey, I'm with you on that. Keisha White, what's going on, sis? Luther Winfield, he says, what up, Tone? Let's temper the expectations for this game. New York is playing better, but remember, Melada is out, and more than likely Goddard is out. The running game might be MIA again. Just hoping for a win. Go Birds. I'm hoping for more than just a win, but I feel you, Luther, right? Not having Melada, not having Goddard, it definitely affects your ability to run block. So now I think we're going to see a heavy dose of Jack Stoll. I think we're going to see Jack Stoll on the field. He's a much better blocker than Grant Calcaterra. So we may see Jack Stoll play in those, to fit those run fits. And you might even see the Eagles go in just 12 personnel, man, or 22 personnel just to get an extra blocker on the field. You never know what they may do. We've seen situations where offensive linemen come on the field as eligible, right? Lining up in the tight end spot just so you can have an extra blocker. That's an offensive lineman. You feel what I'm saying? So they're going to Jeff Stoutland, Kellen Moore, Nick Sirianni, they're going to have to get creative with this run game now that you don't have Melada and you don't have Dallas Goedert. They're going to have to get creative. So I feel you on that. But you're right about expectations. This game isn't going to be a walk in the park because the Giants' defense is top 10. Their offense, I mean, they're literally mediocre. They struggle to put up touchdowns. They struggle to get in the end zone. They struggle to put up points. So this game is going to be decided by whose defense can probably create the most havoc for the opponent. Thank you, Luther. Rufus Wallace says, Cooper DeJean made a big impact. I can't wait for Sidney Brown to be at 100%. Facts, man. That's a fact. All right. My man, Rel Blunt with the $1.99 super chat. Thank you, brother. I really do appreciate your support. I appreciate the love, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jay says, I don't know how people think this game is going to be close. We're going to blow the doors off the Giants. Hey, I hope so. I hope so. That's what I'm hoping for. I want them to blow the door off the Giants, but that Giants defense does a good job at holding teams at under 20 points, 21 points. They do a good job. That defense is good. They're solid. They're ranked 10th. They're ranked 10th. Let's see. Rel Blunt also says, how do you feel about the NFL flexing the Giants and Eagles game out for the Bears and Commanders? No, it's the you're talking about the Eagles-Bengals game. That's next week. That's next week. You're talking about the Eagles-Bengals game. It's getting flexed out. So the Eagles were playing at 4:00. They're being flexed to 1:00, and the Commanders and Bears are playing at 4:25. And one of the reasons they flex that out is because you're going to have the top 2 quarterbacks drafted in the 2024 draft playing against each other. You want all eyes in that game. So I'm not mad at that. And the Commanders are better. The Bears clearly have figured out the quarterback situation. So I don't really care about that, if I'm being honest. I don't really care about that. If that's the flex or if that's the brag for the Commanders, okay, it doesn't really make a difference to me. Still got to play the game. Simple as that. You still got to play the game. All right, Corey Little. He says it's going to be a battle for the trenches. Simple. He says it's going to be a battle for the trenches. It's as simple as that. We have to win the offensive and D-line snaps. Yeah, man, for sure. That's a fact. Warv says we ran man 43% against the Browns compared to 15% on the season. I'm confident in Vic. Yeah, I didn't expect that either. I really did not expect for them to be in man coverage 40+% of the time. That threw me off. But it's a wrinkle, right? It's the kind of thing that can offset whatever your opponent game plan for. It's a drastic difference in what you normally do, which can throw a monkey wrench in the game plan of the offense, the opposing offense, if you execute. Infamous 2K says the fact that their nose tackle has 7 sacks is insane. Dexter Lawrence is different. He is definitely living up to the money. He is definitely living up to the money. That's a fact. That is a fact, man. Dexter Lawrence is the real deal. Let's see where we at. Jay says Giants going down via knockout. That's funny. Infamous also says Malik Neighbors might have 500 yards and 80 touchdowns. Are you talking about on the season or are you talking about in this game? Because Quinyon Mitchell going to be on that. Don't get it twisted. DeJean's a bigger body and much tougher. Yeah, exactly. Wiz says, yeah, Lawrence is a monster. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Coach Corey says 17-3 Eagles. LOL. They got to give us a heart attack. It's who they are. Corey, man, I missed you, man. But you're not wrong, dog. You're not wrong at all. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. All right. Let me get to my next topic of the day. Once again, just to give you guys a quick update on some injuries for the Eagles. Again, I know they normally drop their injury report on Wednesdays, the first one at least. Let me see if I can find it here, because I know I have some things already written down, but I want to see if they've updated it. All right, let's see. Okay, so they haven't dropped the Week 7 injury report yet. They haven't dropped it yet. But as of right now, when it comes to the key injuries, when it comes to the key names, Darius Slay, he's day-to-day with a knee injury. Jordan Mailata, who knows how long he's going to be out, but he's not playing this week. And Dallas Goedert, he's not playing this week. That hasn't been confirmed, but I have a hard time believing he's going to play with a hamstring. Him and Mailata with hamstring injuries. I doubt we see those guys. I doubt we see those guys for a little while. And then the Giants, they're without Andrew Thomas. They're a star left tackle for the rest of the season. That's a big loss for them. Just as Jordan Mailata is a big loss for the Eagles. But Andrew Thomas, that's an even bigger loss for them because their offensive line doesn't even compare to the Eagles' offensive line. And then Kayvon Thibodeau was on IR. He'll be back later on in the season, but as of right now, he's not playing this Sunday. And that compromises their pass rush a little bit. But Dexter Lawrence and Brian Burns, they're going to still wreak havoc. So Cam Jurgens, whoever plays left tackle, I think it's going to be Mekhi Becton. You guys are going to have your hands full. You know what I'm saying? Tyler Steen and all those guys, right? You're going to have your hands full. I trust Lane Johnson to do Lane Johnson things. Infamous is a hater, bro. That's my young boy, but he's a hater. He's a hater. See, Infamous is mad that every corner they've drafted has been a dud. That's what he's mad about. He's mad that Emmanuel Forbes is a bust. He's mad that Benjamin St. Juste, I don't know if y'all still got him, but I don't really care about your corners, really. But he's upset. He's upset that Emmanuel Forbes, the guy that he's been talking about, the guy that he's been ringing his name, he's upset that he's not a player. He's a dud. He's a dud. I get it. As a matter of fact, if they had Quinyon Mitchell and if he was doing what they was doing for him, if they would have drafted Quinyon Mitchell and if he was doing what he was doing for them, oh yeah, he'd be talking mad trash. You know what I'm saying? If they were able to get their hands on him, they'd be like, oh yeah, we got one. But Emmanuel Forbes, what happened to him? What happened to him? Where is he? Somebody help me out. Is he alive? Is he breathing? Does he have a pulse? Somebody help me find Emmanuel Forbes. Anyway, let's get back on task here. So yeah, that's the updated injuries, so on and so forth. Wow, didn't y'all draft him in the first round? Let me check something real quick. Hold on. You getting me off track, Infamous, but you my man. You get me off track. I gotta find something. I gotta find out. I gotta find something out. I gotta see something. I gotta see something. He's 23 years old. Okay. 23 years old. Let's see what we got here. Emmanuel Forbes, drafted in the first round. First round. Bruh. No. I can defend my corner. Oh, no. Hey, Infamous, don't play that game. I can defend my corner. I can defend my corner. I can defend my corner, player. See, you're making it too easy. You're better than this, Infamous. You're making it too easy. I hate to make it about you, but I'm making it about you because you're my young boy. I hate to make it about you, but I'm making it about you. I can defend my corner. Give me a second. Be patient. I got you. Let me just give you some numbers when it comes to Quinyon Mitchell. Hold on. Let me give you some numbers. I got you, player. Don't you worry about a damn thing. So let me just give you this quick number. I'm going to give you more, but I'm going to give you this one. Quinyon Mitchell has 8 forced incompletions on the season. He's tied for 3rd in the NFL. That's another stat for you. I got another one for you, though. Hold on. Buckle up. Hold on. Buckle up. Just stay right where you at. Don't you move. Don't you move a muscle. Quinyon Mitchell is tied for the highest forced incompletion percentage among all cornerbacks when targeted. Quinyon Mitchell is tied for the highest forced incompletion rate among all cornerbacks when targeted. Let's keep it going. I got more for you. Don't worry. Be patient. I got you. Be patient. I'm coming. Got another one for you. Quinyon Mitchell has been targeted as the primary defender 31 times in his rookie season. Opposing quarterbacks are 15 of 31 with a 48.4 completion percentage with 0 touchdowns when targeting Quinyon Mitchell. He is allowing a 54.9 passer rating. Come on, man. Yo, bro, stop smoking on that DC dope, man. It ain't where it's at, man. You got to stop smoking that DC dope. It ain't where it's at. It's stepped on. You feel what I'm saying? That DC dirt, you can't be smoking that, man. It goes to your head. It make you see things. You're smoking that DC Reggie, man. We on that high grade. You feel me? You can't have this conversation with me, man. Y'all drafted Emmanuel Forbes in the first round. Look, he want to talk about separation, right? Infamous want to talk about separation. He want to talk about separation, right? But guess what? They not catching the ball. They not getting nowhere. He ain't give up a touchdown yet. Didn't Emmanuel Forbes give up 2 touchdowns to A.J. Brown last year? Or was it 3? I can't remember how many touchdowns Emmanuel Forbes gave up to A.J. Brown last year. I can't remember. But I know Quinyon Mitchell didn't give up a touchdown to Mike Evans. I know Quinyon Mitchell didn't give up a touchdown to Chris Godwin. I know Quinyon Mitchell didn't give up a touchdown to Amari Cooper. I know Quinyon Mitchell didn't give up a touchdown to Chris Olave. I know Quinyon Mitchell didn't give up a touchdown to Rashid Shaheed. I know Quinyon Mitchell didn't give up a touchdown to Christian Watson or Romeo Doubs. I can go on and I can go on. But the bottom line is this. My guy clears your guy. It's just that simple. Let me get back on task. Infamous, you know I love you, bro. But we always gotta go. We always gotta have the fisticuffs every now and again. You know you my man. But every now and again, we gotta knuckle up a little bit. And it's all love. But like I told you, I know you. You're a floating Commanders fan. If Jaden Daniels ever gets fed up with the Commanders, we know where you're going. You got to be. Listen, listen. I know Infamous. I know Infamous. I know him. If Jaden Daniels ever gets fed up with the Commanders, if he ever does, wherever Jaden Daniels goes, Infamous, pack your bags. We know where you're going. We know where he going. Hey, y'all, we know where he going. See, yo, listen, Infamous, I did not mean I did not intend on dedicating 15 minutes to you, brother, but you my man. You're my resident feather ruffler. You stir the pot. You make the show more entertaining, brother. I appreciate you. I really do. I'm telling you that right now. You have value to me, my man. You shown mad love. You one of my OG supporters, bro. Me and you talk outside of this. So you my guy. But, bro, Jaden Daniels, if that man ever decided to lead the Commanders, where y'all think Infamous going? Hey, listen, y'all. I'm about to blow your mind. If Jaden Daniels was ever, I don't know, traded to the Tennessee Titans, where y'all think Infamous going? Better lock them doors and show your lights down low. Hey, listen. If Jaden Daniels ends up in Tennessee with the Titans, hey, Infamous, get your cowboy boots and get your cowboy hat, all right? We know where you're going. We know exactly where you're going, player. No. I'm not talking about a trade. I'm talking about if he decide to leave. If he get fed up and he say, you know what? I don't like it here. I'm just saying, man. Infamous. When Carson left, where did you go? All right, let me move on, yo. You my guy. Let me move on. All right, so just getting to the offensive side of the ball for the Philadelphia Eagles. This is going to be a. Did he just say the Commanders have a functional front office? Y'all got to prove that. Y'all still got to prove that. Anyway, Saquon Barkley, he makes his return to MetLife, which is going to be really exciting. He's going to face his former team, and I know he's looking to take their cookies. I know he is. And, we all know Saquon Barkley, he was a premier player for the Giants. He was their franchise. He was their offense. It wasn't Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones depended on Saquon Barkley. He couldn't do anything without Saquon Barkley. Still can't. I mean, he spams Malik Neighbors, but as he should. First round pick, you feed him. He's your best player, your only player. You feed him. So it's not debatable. Saquon was their best player. Malik Neighbors is their best player now as well on offense. But things went south, obviously, during their contract negotiations. He ended up settling for the franchise tag, and they gave him a little bump. And then they came back to the table. Giants dropped the ball. He ends up in Philadelphia. Gets the deal he wants. Now, you couple him with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, and Saquon Barkley has easily been one of their most reliable players, right? When A.J. Brown went down, Saquon showed up. Devontae went down, Saquon showed up. Jalen Hurts struggling, Saquon shows up. Saquon has been their most reliable player on offense so far, outside of A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. So if you ask me, I'm going to unleash Saquon Barkley on the Giants. I'm not even hesitating. I don't care who's healthy, who's not. I don't care if I ain't got Jordan Mailata. I don't care if I ain't got Dallas Goedert. I am unleashing Saquon Barkley on the Giants. Saquon Barkley's going to have 25 touches. That's how I'm looking at it. Hey, Saquon, how many touches you want? Hey, you know what? Don't worry about it. Just tell me when you're tired, and I'll bring somebody in. You get your pick of the litter, brother. So I'm making sure I'm feeding Saquon if I'm done. I don't care who's out there. I'm doing whatever I got to do. Now, sure, the Giants are definitely going to game plan for him. They're going to game plan. I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants try to sell out and defend him. But then you got A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. How are you going to defend those guys? And then with Grant Calcaterra coming off of the game, coming off of the solid performance he had, he's somebody you got to watch. Not game plan for, but he's somebody that you got to keep an eye on. Right? So, again, I expect the Giants to do everything in their power to keep Saquon from getting off. I expect that. But there's just too many holes to plug if you're the Giants defense, if you ask me. But that defense is good. They're top 10. They know how to get to the quarterback. It's not a secret. It's not a secret. They know how to get to the quarterback. And they do it very well. So far through week 6, week 7, they lead the league in sacks. I think they got 26, 27 sacks, something like that. Dexter Lawrence is going crazy right now, but they are without Kayvon Thibodeau. That's a loss. That's a loss for them. So, adding Brian Burns to the fold definitely helped their defensive line for sure. It's taking their pass rush to another level. And not having Mailata, you're going to see Brian Burns try to do the best he can and take advantage of that. Again, I don't know who's going to be the left tackle. I think it should be Mekhi Becton at left tackle, and you put Tyler Steen at right guard. So there's a chance we may see Brian Burns versus Mekhi Becton for primarily for that entire game. Brian Burns typically played over the right tackle when Kayvon Thibodeau was there. He played over the right tackle. But with Kayvon Thibodeau not being there, they decided to move Brian Burns to over the left tackle. And I think Ojulari is over the right tackle now. So it's going to be a tough task. It's going to be a tough task. As Blunt just asked me, would I move Fred at tackle or Becton? I'm putting Becton right there. I didn't like what I saw from Fred Johnson in the Buccaneers game. Fred Johnson is still a backup. He's still a rotational tackle. So I don't have the highest expectations out of Fred Johnson. I really don't. But me personally, I'm putting Mekhi Becton out there. I'm putting Mekhi Becton at left tackle because this isn't just a 1-week injury we're dealing with Mailata. We need to have the most talented guys out there right now, your best bodies out there. And that's Mekhi Becton at left tackle. And you get Tyler Steen at right guard. And that's still a good offensive line. Still, to this day, that's a good offensive line. Lane Johnson, Tyler Steen, Cam Jurgens, Landon Dickerson, Mekhi Becton. That's a good offensive line. That's a really good offensive line. Let me look at some of your comments here. Rufus Wallace says that he believes that they're going to run a lot of blitzes from that side. I won't put it past them. I won't put it past them at all. I can't put it past them. But what's reassuring about it is that Jalen Hurts has been significantly better against the blitz this season. It really makes me feel good to see the improvement. Let me just put this in perspective for you guys here. I'm going to bring something on screen for you so you can see it better than I can tell you. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the show. Make sure you guys follow me on Spotify. Follow me on Apple Podcasts. The content is any and everywhere. Just make sure you guys are on the right side of history. I appreciate you guys. All right, so let me bring this up on screen here. Check this out. So this is my man, Jeff Kerr. Shout out to Jeff Kerr. He does an amazing job covering the NFL for CBS. He's a diehard sports fan, loves everything about the game. Knows everything about every sport. He's a savant. But these are Jalen Hurts' numbers against the blitz this season compared to his numbers last season, right? And this just puts it in perspective. So Jalen Hurts in 2024 so far is 33 of 51 against the blitz, completing 64.7% of his passes, 409 passing yards, 4 passing touchdowns, 1 interception, averaging almost 8 yards per attempt with a 104.6 passer rating. He's ranked 10th in the NFL against the blitz. Ranked 10th in the NFL against the blitz. Compared to last season, where he was 115 of 190, 115 out of 190, which is a 60.5% completion percentage, 1,300 pass yards, 6 passing touchdowns, 8 interceptions, just under 7 yards per attempt, and a 74.1 passer rating, which was ranked 28th in the NFL, almost dead last. So Jalen Hurts went from being one of the worst quarterbacks against the blitz to being one of the top 10 best quarterbacks against the blitz so far. And again, we still have a lot of football left to play, but it goes without saying, it's clear. It's jumping off of the page. It's jumping off of the screen. Jalen Hurts has been a better quarterback against the blitz. Has he had turnover issues this season? Absolutely. And I think he's on the path to remedying those issues. But he's been much better against the blitz, and it's showing so far. Through 5 games, he already has 4 touchdowns on the blitz against the blitz compared to last year, 6 touchdowns, and that was 17 games. So perspective. And if you try to aggregate or you try to project these numbers across the season, you know, he's going to finish top 10 among quarterbacks against the blitz. All right, let me get this off the screen here. So, yeah, let me continue to read some of your comments. Keep the main thing says Jalen against the blitz is because Goddard can't freaking stay healthy. 757 CJ says Fred is good when he has to come in as a replacement, but when he has to start, he gave up 11 pressures. Becton at left tackle and Cine at right guard. Absolutely, CJ. I'm with you 100%. I'm with you 100%. Jay Brown says, trust Stoutland. No one knows better. I agree 100%. I'm rolling with that. He also says, on the real, I can see these coaching. I can see these coaches messing this up and trying to run game well. Don't say that, man. That would be the biggest monkey wrench in the whole damn thing, man. That will literally put the finger in a potato salad. That's ruining the sauce. I don't think that'll happen. Keisha White, she says, pick your poison. Smitty, AJ, Saquon. Either way, you're going to die. Either way, you're going to die. Smitty, AJ, Saquon. Hey, listen, man. Take your pick. A bullet's still a bullet. Rufus says, Barkley's going to run angry. Facts. I believe that, man. I believe that. All right, let's see here before we get out of here. I appreciate y'all. You guys have been doing an amazing job today. I really do appreciate it. Let me see something. Let me get some more of your comments. Warv says Jalen is still 31st in the league for passes in the middle of the field. I'm concerned because I don't know if it's the quarterback or the caller, Nick. That's a really, really good. That's a reasonable perspective. I get it. I get it, man. It's a reasonable perspective. I do want to see more throws across the middle. I do. I really, really do. So I feel you on that. Let's see here. Trevor Twine. He says the Lions are checking in on Hassan Reddick. I think they're going to get him. Sweet Chin Music says Saquon should have 25 carries on Sunday. Psh, I'm not arguing. Facts. Ding Bird Gang says, put some music on that's soft and slow. That's my song. Man, I play too much, man. I kid. All right, y'all. That's all I really have for you guys today. I wanted to talk to you guys about the injury report thus far. Again, the Eagles still haven't dropped their official one. I'm still waiting on that. But I wanted to talk to you guys about the injuries with Jordan Mailata, Darius Slay, Dallas Goedert, and also the key injuries on the Giants side. They don't have Andrew Thomas for the rest of the season. Kayvon Thibodeau's on IR, so we're not going to have to deal with those guys. this coming Sunday. And then also, again, I wanted to talk to you guys about the defense and how they can make a statement and how it's going to be so important for them to string together these, these performances, man, because so far in the season, they've given us 2 out of 5 solid performance, 1 spectacular performance, 1 really good performance, and the other 3 were 1 awful performance and 2 mediocre performances. So they've been inconsistent, but the fact that you have something where you're seeing flashes, you're seeing that, okay, if this defense can figure it out, they'll be all right. You're seeing it. So I'd much rather be in that position than where we were last year, where we looked at this defense and we said, yo, we ain't got no players. I don't trust nobody. They can't stop a nosebleed. So, you take the good with the bad, and I expect this defense to be better going forward. I'm still predicting that this defense will be figured out come week 9, week 10. I'm still betting on that. And then obviously the offense, Saquon Barkley, the revenge game is going to be really exciting. Not having Mailata is going to hurt it, but we'll see what the Philadelphia Eagles do to make an adjustment. I expect Mekhi Becton to be at left tackle. I expect Tyler Steen to be at right guard. Mekhi Becton versus Brian Burns is going to be a hell of a matchup. And we're going to talk more and more about this as the week progresses. And I really do appreciate you guys for locking in on the content. We are out of here. Smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed. As I always say, you guys, make sure you check out the Chalk It Up Sports store. We have some dope merch on there. We got oversized tees, hoodies, sweatshirts. You guys know the vibes. The Apex shirts, the Apex products are going crazy. You guys are awesome, and I really do appreciate it. We got many colorways. They come in army green, forest green, black, tan, gray, charcoal gray. Different items have different colorways, and I appreciate y'all for supporting. The links are available just below the live stream. If you look below the live stream, you'll see shirts and hoodies right there. Those are some samples. And you'll be able to go to the website and you'll be able to see everything. And also, you guys, make sure you guys lock in on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I'm really happy about where things are going on there. We're growing drastically on both of those platforms, and I couldn't have done it without you guys. Just know the live streams will always be on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. We are live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And whenever the live stream ends, it immediately gets uploaded on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And you guys can always watch it back on YouTube as well. So I'm trying to take care of you guys. I want to make sure you guys have plenty of options to watch the content. It means a lot to me, and it goes a long way. So you guys take care. I've been your humble host, Tone DeShields II. And you guys have been locked in on Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. What's good, sports fans? Are you ready to elevate your live entertainment experience? Well, let me introduce you to SeatGeek, an amazing platform that connects you to your favorite events while saving you money. With SeatGeek, you can easily find tickets for sports games, concerts, and so much more, all in one place. The interface is user-friendly, making it simple to browse and compare prices. And one of the best features is the interactive seating chart. You can see exactly where you'll be sitting and how much you'll be spending, ensuring you get the best value for your money. But here's the best part. Check this out. By using my promo code, Chalk It Up Sports, you can enjoy a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. That's right, $20 off your first SeatGeek order. Imagine catching that thrilling game or concert without breaking the bank. It's a win-win situation. Plus, you'll be a part of a community of fans who eat, sleep, and breathe live events just as much as you do. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description to download the SeatGeek app today. And don't forget to use my promo code, Chalk It Up Sports, for a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. Get excited. Now let's get back to the show.